Welcome back. President Obama sending an undisclosed number of U.S. Marines to Iraq following an ISIS strike that took the life of one U.S. serviceman last week. This despite promises to not put boots on the ground in Iraq.
I won't commit our troops to fighting another ground war in Iraq or in Syria. It's more effective to use our capabilities to help partners on the ground secure their own country's futures.
You know, we have the finest military in the world, and we have the finest military minds in the world. And I've been meeting with them intensively for years now, discussing these various options. And it is not just my view, but the view of my closest military and civilian advisors, that that would be a mistake.
Joining me now is Fox News military analyst General Robert Scales. Sir, good to see you. Thanks very much for joining us. Your takeaway on this, now Marines headed to Iraq.
Well, I mean, the United States gave up its active military ground role against ISIS in 2011 when we pulled out our major combat units. The rules of engagement, the exclusion of American forces from direct combat, means that we are there to advise, to assist, to hold the hands of the Iraqi military, but not to do anything that's going to break the back of ISIS. No, this particular part of the phase in the anti-ISIS campaign is over. The president is concerned about his legacy, and he wants to see all this wind down without any huge embarrassments. The addition of a Marine detachment, which could be anything, Maria, from 4 to 20 Marines, is not going to make a whole lot of difference or make the 3,700 soldiers who are in Iraq any more effective or ineffective than they are now.
How would you characterize our military presence and foreign policy at this point? We've been having a discussion on the set all morning about this trip to Cuba, by the way, and why this trip really is more about the president wanting to just check a box. I'm the one who opened up Cuba, as opposed to actually doing anything. And then you've got the situation throughout the Middle East. What are we in our 20th month in terms of our airstrikes? How's that going?
Well, first of all, an already tepid air campaign has been throttled back even more in recent months. No, I think your block-checking analogy is a good one. The president wants to check the block in the Middle East. He came into office promising to end 2 wars in the Middle East. They're actually probably worse now than they were 8 years ago. And coincidentally, the trip to Cuba to diffuse national security tensions, and the #1 threat on the president's agenda right now is climate change rather than ISIS, because climate change doesn't shoot back, Maria.
Right. Dagan.
General, new president come January. What changes, you think? I know it depends on who the person is, but has irreparable damage been done to our position on the world stage?
Oh, I don't think there's any question about that, Dagan. I mean, who are we looking to bring on our side? Turkey? Oh, that's not going to happen. Jordan? No, they're sick of us. Saudi Arabia? They're very skeptical. So we either do it ourselves or we do it in conjunction with the Iraqi military. I've talked to people who are trying to get the Iraqi military off the dime and start attacking Mosul. It's not happening in this administration. No, the only way we're going to break the back of ISIS is to take Mosul and the Syrian city of Raqqa. That requires major commitment of American and allied forces, and I'll tell you right now, what this administration wants to do is wait it out. And in spite of what the president says about all this bow wave of support from those in uniform, I can assure you from those who I talked to in the Pentagon, that simply isn't the case.
Yeah, Doug High is with us this morning. General, go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, General, one quick question. Obviously, Russia has now basically declared that their operations in Syria have been successful. Where do you see that going with the U.S. role really shrinking back from Syria for years now?
Oh, wow. I mean, Vladimir Putin has played this like a Stradivarius. I mean, first of all, he's had a battleground that he can prove and demonstrate to the world this new military competence coming out of nowhere, change the subject away from the Ukraine, use migrants as a weapon against the EU. The rest of the world is cheering over his success, and now he's a peacemaker because he's the one who is pulling out of Syria and going to the negotiating table. Now, this is a piece of national strategic brilliance that you rarely see from national leaders today. And oh, by the way, he's diabolical and he's evil, but he's successful.
Unbelievable. General, good to see you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Maria.
We appreciate your time this morning. General Bob Scales.